Good morning to you. Trust you're well today. Today I want to encourage you with a scripture that's from Psalm 125 verse 1 that says, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved but abides forever." How amazing is that, that when we trust in God, the scriptures say we are like Mount Zion. We can't be moved, we can't be shaken, because our trust is in God. And so I want to say to you today, I'm reading to you from my Imagine the Dreamer's Diary, and day 218, I just randomly picked day 218, says this: "Let today be the day that your strength will kick in, because you've trusted God so many times and you've had enough of believing the lies that God has left you alone. You will refuse to cave in to those voices that say you aren't getting anywhere in life. You will resist the pressure and the opposition, and you will be surprised that you're that strong. You have the resilience and the sound of victory in your spiritual makeup. In Him you are unshakable, and God knew it all along." And the word of the day in this book is victory, an act of defeating an enemy or opponent in a battle, game, or other competition. And I want to say to you today that God sees that you, in Him, you are strong enough. In Him, you are enough to resist the opposition, saying that you're not going to get anywhere. And I have been I've been looking through this book because we're coming to the end of the year, and I'm working on another one. And I want to say to you, I'll read to you another one that I found. "The brave ones are those who have recognized the plans of the enemy to keep them restricted, compressed, and stretched out of shape. They refuse to be defined by the pressure of the enemy. When you're stretched, you will be launched forward. When you're pressed out of shape, you will come back in even better shape. When you let God step in to help, you are made to be resilient and brave." 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. "We are hard-pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed." That was 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. And I want to say to you today that the enemy is trying it's his hardest to keep you in despair, feeling forsaken, as if you are shaken to the core. But the scripture in Psalm 125 says, "You are like Mount Zion." When you put your trust in God, you are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. And so I want to say to you, put your trust in God today, because He is faithful. It's not so much what you can do, but it's what Jesus has done already to give you the victory, that you are on the winning side, that God is for you, He's not against you. And that as much as the enemy wants to keep you pressed down, feeling forsaken, feeling shaken, that God sees you totally different to that. And I want to encourage you today that when you put your hope in Him, when you put your eyes on Him, no matter what you've been through, no matter where you find yourself today, that when you put your trust in God, you become unshakable because of who He is and because of the promises that there are in the Word for you today. And so I am putting together a teaching for this coming week about the plumb line. And God has been speaking a lot to me about the time to give birth to the promises of what He has said, and that Jesus has already won the victory. And the plumb line is when we keep our eyes on Him. The plumb line is being Jesus-centered, being Jesus-focused. And the reason is because He is good, because of what He has done for us and the way that He's made for us. And when we have Jesus as the plumb line in our lives, we become these unshakable people that I've just spoken to you about. We're not perplexed, we're not confused, we're not discouraged, because Jesus is the plumb line. And you'll have to wait for the full message on the plumb line to hear what that's about. But I want to encourage you today that when you keep your focus on Him and what He has done, you become unshakable. I'll read Colossians 2:15 to you. "Having disarmed principalities and powers, He made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them in it." Jesus already made a public spectacle of the enemy that is trying to keep you down, trying to keep you pressed out of shape and bent out of shape and restricted and confined. And I want to say to you, keep your eyes on Him, because He's won the victory. We walk in the finished works, and when we keep our eyes on Him, we walk a life that is different to the world, because we are on the winning side. So be encouraged with that today.